Mars, the red planet, the iron-rich minerals found in the regolith, the loose rock and dust that coat Mars's vivid rust-colored surface, are what give the planet its name. Even though it contains a lot of organic material, Earth's soil is a type of regolith. According to NASA, the soil turns red because the iron minerals oxidize or rust. A number of Martian rocks have fallen to Earth over the eons, providing scientists a rare opportunity to study pieces of Mars without having to leave our planet. One of the most controversial finds was Allen Hill's 84001, a Martian meteorite that, according to a 1996 study, likely contains tiny fossils and other evidence of Mars life. Other researchers cast doubt on this hypothesis, but the team behind the famous 1996 study have held firm to their interpretation, and the debate about ALH A4001 continues today. As one learns more about the planet, it seems to become more and more fascinating. Here is all the information that you need to know about Mars. The name. The rusty red color of Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun, is well known. The atmosphere of the cold, arid red planet is extremely thin. However, the dusty, as far as we can tell, lifeless planet is everything but boring. The Romans gave the red planet its name in honor of their god of war because of its bloody hue. Actually, the ancient Greeks called the planet after their god of war Ares, and they were the ones the Romans copied. Research and exploration. Galileo Galilei was the first to use a telescope to see Mars in 1610. The planet's polar ice caps were found by astronomers in the century that followed. Researchers in the 19th and 20th centuries, most notably Percival Lowell, thought they observed a system of long straight canals on Mars that might have been evidence of a past civilization. These observations turned out to be incorrect interpretations of geological features nevertheless. Size and structure. Mars is much smaller than Earth, which has a diameter of 7,926 miles at 4,220 miles. The red planet has a gravitational pull that is 38% stronger than Earth's and is around 10% as big. A human weighing 100 pounds on Earth would weigh just 62 pounds on Mars, yet both planets would have the same mass. Magnetic field. Around 4 billion years ago, Mars's magnetic field was lost globally, which allowed the solar wind to largely strip the planet of its atmosphere. However, there are parts of the planet's crust that can be at least 10 times more highly magnetized than anything that has been observed on Earth, suggesting that these parts are the remains of an earlier global magnetic field. Mars's landscape. The thin, chilly atmosphere of the planet makes it unlikely that liquid water could survive on the Martian surface for any length of time. Some scientists contend that hydrogen detected from orbit in this region may instead suggest salty salts, which others doubt the evidence provided by features known as recurrent slope Linné, which may have spurts of brackish water flowing on the surface. This indicates that although the diameter of this desert planet is only half that of Earth, it contains the same amount of dry terrain. Mars's polar caps. From the poles to latitudes of roughly 80 degrees in both Martian hemispheres, there are vast deposits of what seem to be stacks of water, ice, and dust that are intricately stratified. These were most likely continuously deposited by the atmosphere. Many of these stratified deposits in both hemispheres are covered in caps of water, ice, and they are permanently frozen. In the winter, additional seasonal caps of frost develop. These are composed of solid carbon dioxide, commonly referred to as dry ice, that has condensed from atmospheric carbon dioxide. According to Mars, the volume of the air is roughly 95% carbon dioxide. This frost can spread from the poles to latitudes as low as 45 degrees, or halfway to the equator, during the coldest portion of the winter. According to a publication in the Journal of Geophysical Research Planets, the dry ice layer looks to have a fluffy appearance, similar to recently fallen snow. Mars's climate. Because of its considerable distance from the Sun, Mars is significantly colder than Earth. Although it can range from minus 195 degrees Fahrenheit at the poles in the winter to as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit at midday near the equator, the average temperature is roughly minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Even while the atmosphere of Mars, which is rich in carbon dioxide, is typically roughly 100 times less dense than that of Earth, it is nevertheless thick enough to support weather, clouds, and winds. Seasonal variations in the atmosphere's density result from the Martian atmosphere's forced expulsion of carbon dioxide during the winter. The atmosphere was probably much thicker and capable of supporting water flowing on the planet's surface in the past. Because Mars lacks a worldwide magnetic field, lighter molecules in the atmosphere over time were forced to escape under the push of the solar wind. The NASA MAVEN, Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution mission, is now investigating this mechanism. The first conclusive evidence of carbon dioxide snow clouds was discovered by NASA's Mars's Reconnaissance Orbiter, making Mars the only planet in the solar system known to experience such peculiar winter weather. Snow made of water, ice, also falls from the sky as a result of the red planet. The greatest dust storms in the solar system can cover the entire red planet for months and are found on Mars. According to one idea, the reason dust storms on Mars can get so large is because the sunlight that the airborne dust particles absorb warms the Martian atmosphere around them. Then, as warm air pockets move in the direction of colder areas, winds are created. Strong winds cause more dust to be lifted off the ground, which heats the atmosphere and increases wind speed and dust production. Robots operating on the Martian surface could be seriously endangered by these dust storms. For instance, the NASA Opportunity Mars rover perished in 2018 after getting swept up in a massive storm that prevented sunlight from reaching the robot's solar panels for days on end. Mars's orbit. Mars has a longer year, 687 days as opposed to 365 for our own planet, since it is further from the Sun than Earth. However, while having identical day lengths, Mars rotates around its axis in around 24 hours and 40 minutes, as opposed to 24 hours for Earth. Like Earth, Mars has a tilted axis with respect to the Sun. As a result, Mars has seasons because, like Earth, some areas of the red planet get significantly different amounts of sunlight throughout the year. Mars's moons. American astronomer Asaph Hall spent a week in 1877 discovering Phobos and Deimos, two of Mars's moons. Angelina, his wife, persuaded Hall to continue his search for a moon of Mars when he was about to give up. The same evening, he found Deimos, and 6 days later, Phobos. Phobos and Deimos, two of the sons of the Greek war god Ares respectively, are the names that he gave the moons. Both Phobos and Deimos are believed to be composed of ice and rock rich in carbon that are covered in dust and loose boulders. Since they don't have enough gravity to draw themselves into a more circular shape, they are small in comparison to Earth's moon and have an uneven shape. The largest that Phobos can become is around 17 miles, while most that Deimos can attain is about 9 miles. The moon's diameter is 3,475 kilometers or 2,159 miles. The craters on each of Mars's moons are the result of meteor strikes. The surface of Phobos also has an elaborate network of grooves that may be fissures that developed after the impact that generated the largest crater on the moon, a hole that is about half the breadth of Phobos and measures around 6 miles across. Similar to how our moon appears to Earth, the two Martian satellites always present the same face to their parent planet. Do you know that Mars came closer to Earth in 2003 than it had at any time in the previous 60,000 years? In the same year, NASA launched two golf cart-sized rovers known as Spirit and Opportunity, which after landing on Mars in January 2004 examined various areas of its surface. Numerous hints that water formerly flowed across the planet's surface were discovered by both rovers. Initially given 3-month surface missions, Spirit and Opportunity continued to rove for far longer than that. Spirit wasn't officially declared dead by NASA until 2011, and Opportunity was still operating normally up until mid-2018 dust storm. NASA launched the Phoenix lander in 2008 to explore Mars's northernmost regions. Among other discoveries, the robot proved the existence of water ice in the nearby subsoil. The Curiosity rover was launched by NASA's Mars Science Laboratory mission in 2011 to look into the possibility that Mars formerly supported life. The car-sized robot discovered that the region once had a long-lived, potentially viable lake and stream system, not long after landing inside Gale Crater on the Red Planet in August 2012. Additionally, Curiosity has discovered intricate chemical compounds and recorded seasonal variations in the atmosphere's methane content. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and MAVEN, Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution, which arrived at Mars in 2006 and 2014 respectively, are the other two orbiters operated by NASA that are now circling the planet. Mars Express and the Trace Gas Orbiter are two other ESA spacecraft that are in orbit around the planet. The Mars Orbiter mission of India successfully entered orbit around Mars in September 2014, making it the fourth country to do so. NASA successfully landed the Mars InSight lander there in November 2018. As previously mentioned, InSight is analyzing Mars quakes to learn more about the interior structure and makeup of Mars. In July of 2020, NASA launched the Perseverance rover, which will search for life and store samples. In February 2021, Perseverance, a spacecraft around the same size as Curiosity and Ingenuity, a tiny technology demonstrating helicopter, touched down on the surface of Jezero crater on Mars. Ingenuity had completed more than a dozen flights on Mars as of September 2021, demonstrating the viability of airborne exploration of the planet. Perseverance recorded the 4-pound, 1.8 kilogram helicopter's initial flights before concentrating seriously on its own scientific objective. A joint NASA-ESA campaign will likely return a large cache of samples that the large rover has previously collected to Earth as early as 2031. Not just NASA has plans to staff missions to Mars, other countries have also stated their intentions to send people to Mars, notably China and Russia. And Elon Musk, the creator and CEO of SpaceX, has frequently emphasized that he founded the business in 2002 specifically to aid humanity in colonizing Mars. Starship, a fully reusable deep space transportation system that SpaceX is currently designing and testing, is what Musk hopes will finally enable human habitation on Mars. What are your opinions on this video? Would you be thrilled to live on Mars? Do let us know in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Make sure that you also subscribe to Tech Hook. Don't forget to click that bell icon down below, this way you'll never miss out on anything new that we come up with.